Recording in progress.
They do not call him Nug on 2, and they do not call him Holly Won't.
That's absolutely true. They do not call me Holly Wong.
And
What's
That's
you don't
interesting.
grinding?
fucking 86 suck nasty.
That's fucking true. What's grinding Hollywood's gears today?
Um, well, I brought this up with Nug, and it's a thing that I think should happen in football. I think they should put a moratorium on firing coaches and hiring coaches until after the Super Bowl. And the reason I feel that way is like Andy Reid's a good example. If Andy Reid won a Super Bowl this year, he it's on the board he could retire. Like I don't think he's going to retire any soon, but every year could potentially be Andy Reid's last year. Let's say they go crazy and they win the Super Bowl next year, and then he retires. But you're going to have all the teams that fire their coaches, yada yada yada, and then they all take jobs, and then all of a sudden, essentially, the best job in the league would become available, being the coach of the defending Super Bowl champions and getting to catch Coach Patrick Mahomes. So, to me, I think it would be smart for the league to not let coaches get fired until after the Super Bowl. Um, this keeps everything in place for in case there's injuries and stuff like that. That's the only issue is if like a team gets injured, like a player gets injured and it drags out the process and all of that stuff. That's the only potential issue I see with it. But I think it would be a good way to like John Harbaugh is a great example. Maybe he would have wanted the Bills job instead of the Giants job because of all the jobs now, the Bills job to me is the best job available because you get to coach Josh, and I think Josh is better than Lamar. So I would say that's the best job. I still think the Giants is a good job, but maybe John Harbaugh doesn't take that job if if the Bills job becomes available first, and maybe the Bills owner, maybe like the fiasco of what's happening over there with promoting the GM but firing the coach wouldn't happen because you would want Harbaugh, so you would be like, all right, I'm just gonna 86 both and go with Harbaugh. So I just think it could be better for the league if they waited till after the Super Bowl to start coaching, start all the coaches getting fired, et cetera, et cetera.
That's the most communist take you've ever had, Hollywood.
Communist take I've ever had. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure I've had a more communist take than that, but
That would
okay.
be like if you wanted to fire a general manager of a sandwich shop and someone was like, you have to wait until October. It's
No,
not
no,
the
no, no,
right
no, no,
time.
no. That. First of all, in season firings are different. I'm talking about when the season is over. That's what I'm referring to. And first of all, it would be significantly like. Here's the thing: if you're a coaching candidate and you have a chance to be like, I would just say I would want to wait for the lay of the land before I took a job. That's just me. Now I get that. I get what you're saying. That maybe you don't get this job, et cetera, et cetera. But like, I would. Anybody who's taking a job and didn't know about the Bills job took a job too soon. That's the point.
So I think you with hiring, I think that could maybe work. Um like I don't think you could tell a team when they can and can't fire their coach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um
I
like
see that point. That to maybe okay. Maybe
like
then wait.
maybe
So
it's
all the hirings
because it's
can't
like free
happen.
agency.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like teams can't start signing next year's free agents right now. Like that has to wait.
Yeah, well, that has to
So
wait till
like
the physical league year, starts in March 1st or whatever it is. It's in March. I know that.
yeah,
um,
but
okay,
so
okay,
they
yeah, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe they could still fire a coach if they want, but maybe nobody could get hired until after the
yeah,
Super Bowl.
but you're just gonna get what happens with like the NBA with all the freaking like tampering where there's everyone is or like 12:01, trade deadline opens and every freaking signing is already announced or
Well, well, well.
free agency,
I mean, NFL already has
opens.
that too. It's the same way. It's we wait for free agency to open, and then everybody gets signed in the first couple of days, and then everybody knows, and then it's like okay, free agency. Even though free agency's over, like baseball is the only free agency that drags out as long as it does.
Yeah.
Every other free agency, it's essentially done within the first, honestly, 3 days, sometimes 4. I can't think of a star in either sport that's, like, sure, there's still like signings that happen later, but for the most part, it's all the stars all get signed within those first couple of days. So I see that point, and I do agree. I don't, like I said, this is a work in progress theory. I would agree. Yeah, okay, fire the coaches if you want to fire your coach, but it would be waiting to hire until after, so you could. For me, like I said, I would, if I was a coaching candidate, I would want to see the lay of the land, because like I was saying, McDermott would get fired if they didn't win the Super Bowl. Like I've been saying that since
Yeah.
during the year.
Yeah.
So, like to me, I would have, if I was Robert Saleh or John Harbaugh or any. I can't. The Ravens just hired the guy, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Gus something.
Or didn't they hire Stefanski? Or who
No,
hired
Kevin
Stefanski?
Stefanski went to the Falcons, but Stefanski's another guy, and then there's I can't remember the other guy's name. Somebody else took a coaching job. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh,
But
Jeff Hafley got
yeah,
Miami.
Jeff Hapley, yeah, got Miami's job. That's who it is.
Not
And
happy
then,
about that one.
yeah, and oh yeah, because that's your that was your DC, right, for the Packers.
Yep.
You said you're not happy or you're happy?
No, I'm not happy he's
Not happy.
gone,
Okay.
dude. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Maybe they still get to fire, but maybe nobody gets to hire until after the Super Bowl or a couple of days after, or maybe it's like, yeah.
I was gonna say too, and it could just be like, because one, you want to be like rolling into the season, knowing who your head coach is.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
even just having like a moratorium from like basically a couple days after the Super Bowl, let that like media circus kind of die down a little, and then it could be open until like, when do they do like the league meetings?
I think they'll start towards the end of February before the start of the physical year.
Okay, yeah, like that would be perfect, because like, here you go, guys. Here's a freaking month. Go hire your coach. Because all the openings close pretty quickly. Like nobody's stalling hiring a head coach.
League meeting is May 19th and 20th.
Okay, so that's way past the physical year.
That's too late. Yeah, because that's after the draft. You would want them in place before the draft, probably.
Does the NFL physical year start?
So I'm curious, answer the question. Do you think the firing of Sean McDermott is going to fix the Bills?
Depends on who they hire. It really depends on the hire.
Yeah, I would be. I don't know. I would expect them to probably have some struggles next year, because I think this will be the first like coaching change for Josh Allen.
Yeah, whoever it is will be Josh Allen's second coach. Well, I think that's why they're targeting a guy like Vrabel, who would have some continuity with Josh, or promoting Joe Brady, his current offensive coordinator. I feel like that's that's why they're like, those are probably the two candidates most likely to get the job.
Louis Anarumo would be interesting. Their defense freaking sucks.
Mike McDaniel.
Well, see, that's the thing. McDermott is a defensive guy, so that was one of the things.
Yeah, they had like the 31st run defense in the league. Yeah. They were bad.
I do not think Mike McDaniel is going to take them to the next level.
No,
so March 11th is, it looks like it's, so March 9th is like the March 9th through the 11th is the tampering window, as they like to call it. March 3rd is the deadline for designate free agents, transaction players, franchise, if you're going to franchise. I think that's also when you have to, designate them as a June 1st cut and all that stuff. I think that's the 3rd is around there. So the scouting combine is February 23rd. So you would probably want your coach in place your coach and GM in place by then. So this year, for example, it's February 8th. If you do, if you give them a week after the 8th, that puts it at the 15th. 16th would give you a week. Well, so maybe
I
you
think
do like
you'd probably start it honestly like the 9th, and then that would, because you said it's the 23rd.
yeah. So because
Yeah,
that
so
gives
that'd
you
give them
yeah.
two
If you
weeks.
start it the day after the Super Bowl this year, for example, that would give you 2 weeks to have your coach and GM if you've also fired your GM in place by then. Because the same
Which,
thing would apply to
yeah.
the GM because sometimes, to steal a head coach, you give them GM powers and then they're able to leave because because remember, you can't leave for the same job. You have to get a better job to get to leave if you're going sideways.
Wait, what?
So if you're a head coach, like you're Mike LaFleur and I want you, if we don't we can figure out a trade. A trade is different, but if you're just trying to leave for another job, you cannot leave for that job unless it's a better job than the job you have.
Oh, you're saying to like basic, because these guys are all under contract.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so
yeah.
like
Okay, that makes sense. That makes
that's
sense.
why
I see
teams
what,
can deny permission for a person to go. But the counter is if I'm willing to offer you a better job, well, you can still deny permission, but you have to get a better job. You can't just go from an OC to an OC. You have to go
yeah.
from OC to OC. Now there's loopholes. It's OC slash assistant offensive coordinator. Oh, you're the OC, but you're also the running backs coach. That's a better job because you're doing two things instead of one type of thing. That's stuff
Yeah.
they do to get around it.
I just thought of, when was the last time a freaking coordinator got extended?
I mean, I
I
would
feel like
assume
that doesn't
coordinators get
happen.
extended all the time. We just don't hear about it because unless it's your coordinator, you know what I
I
mean?
suppose, but I feel like and maybe it's because we have good teams, but it's
Yeah.
like our offensive and defensive coordinators always just take other jobs, other
I mean,
places.
yeah, like literally, this is we had Fangio. He took a job, left. We had Salah. He took a job and left. We had D'Amico Ryans. He took a job and left. We had Steve Wilkes. Obviously, we fired him. I forgot who our Nick Sorenstrom, I think, was our thing last year. Fired him. Got Robert Salah back. He left for the Titans job. You know, so uh, and then our offensive coordinators always pretty much are either not known or like Mike McDaniel. He was the run game coordinator and obviously got the Miami job. That's the word I'm looking for.
God, dude,
Um, oh,
Shanahan's freaking coaching tree is so freaking stupid.
did you guys see especially considering the McVay tree comes off of his tree, um, and then and technically the LaFleur has come off of him now.
Yeah,
Um, but did you see that interesting name that popped up for the Buffalo job this morning
yeah, we were talking about it before you
before
hopped
I got
on.
on? Yeah,
Yeah,
Philip
freaking
Rivers.
the patriarch, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. This beat writer didn't exactly give him a glowing endorsement.
For wait, for who? Anthony Lynn.
No, Philip Rivers.
Oh,
He said, "Y'all, I'm not sure what to write here."
so,
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know. When has there been a like an actual good NFL quarterback? Like who is the last like good like Philip Rivers level quarterback, or at least close? Who's the closest to that went to be a head coach?
who a head coach? I couldn't even
Yeah,
think of it. I couldn't even think of anybody. I mean, because Leftwich comes to mind. Um, Brian
the left.
Greasy. Brian Greasy was the Giant. I mean, not the Giants. The 49ers, like offensive, not offensive, QB's coach for a while. I don't know if he's still our QB coach. I think he might be, but that's just
You got
QB.
you got Harbaugh.
Harbaugh would be the best. Yeah, it would be Harbaugh.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
I can't think of anybody else that became a head coach. Yeah, Harbaugh. Trying to think.
We were something I read in the ESPN piece that they wrote on Philip Rivers. They said that the last NFL. I think it just said NFL player to like play one season and be a head coach the next was Norm Van Brocklin
I
in
don't
like
know.
in like
Damn.
1960 or something. And they said he went like 3-11 as the head coach.
I was gonna say, wasn't it Jeff Saturday? But I think he was gone for like over a year before he took the Colts job.
I think so. And yeah, that and he did not do well.
Yeah, well, yeah, he did do. I wasn't gonna say he did well or not. I was just saying.
Dude, I was actually surprised by that because Jeff Saturday was like a really freaking smart football guy.
But I think he probably would have done, if he had gone up the ranks and learned. It was just like, hey, do nothing. It would be like Philip Rivers. You're playing and now you're a head coach. It's like I get that you put so much on the quarterbacks, but like you know what I mean. It's still like just weird to be like
It's a different job.
to walk into a head coaching job. Like if he was gonna walk into like an assistant offensive coordinator or a QB's coach and then work his way up, I'd be like, yeah, fucking
O-line.
bring him in to be a QB's coach. I would think that'd be a great hire. I mean, he's he's a borderline. I know some people say he's not a Hall of Famer. I think his numbers will get him in, to the Hall of Fame.
Baseball
So
writers would vote him in.
No, that's not true because according to you, the baseball writers should vote in Felix, and they haven't voted him in again. So you can't say that.
Exactly. They don't know what they're doing. They would make Philip a Hall of
First of
Famer
all, we could say that like
ASAP.
literally, we've been able to say that for the last like 20 years about baseball writers. You know what I mean? The fact that until Mariano Rivera came along, there's been no unanimous players in the Hall of Fame. The MLB Hall of Fame shows you how much of a joke the MLB Hall of Fame is. Like Hank Aaron wasn't a unanimous. Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young technically, so I guess you could make an argument against Nolan Ryan being a unanimous, but Nolan Ryan wasn't a unanimous.
Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young.
Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young.
That's insane.
Yep, he the best year he ever had, the year he set the strikeout single season strikeout record. He came in second to what the hell's his name? Jim Palmer. And yeah, like there's a Nolan Ryan documentary on Netflix that I watched a few years ago. I don't know if it's still there. And like one of the first questions they asked, it's like, how many Cy Youngs did Nolan Ryan win? And I was like, oh, he probably won like 3 or 4. Because he played 22 years, right? I was like,
Yeah.
he should have
Yeah,
backed
dude, I would
into
have
at
thought he
least.
had like 5 or 6.
Yeah, and then literally they go down the thing, and it's like Randy Johnson. And they ask Randy Johnson, and he's like, and I think he says he has a couple. And they ask like all these good pitchers or good to great pitchers, and they're all like, yeah, he's got like 3. And then finally they're like, and then it's just like text on the thing, or maybe there's one guy who's like, he didn't win any, and then like there's text it's like Nolan Ryan won 0 Cy Youngs, and then you're just like, wait, what? And then, like, I literally paused it and looked it up. Like, even though Netflix was telling me, I was like, "There's no way this is true. Netflix is lying to me." And I went and looked. And it was like, "Nope, Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young."
Travesty.
I don't
Absolute
disagree with
travesty.
that take.
He threw freaking what, like 4 no hitters,
He threw 7 no hitters, sir. Don't you
7
disrespect him?
no-hitters. Sorry, I was going Price is Right. I was trying to get the low closest without going over.
Yeah.
And then did he throw 2 perfect games or just one?
No, 0 perfect games.
Never threw a perfect game. He just had
Never
all the
threw a perfect game.
no-hitters.
Yeah. Then he also has the record for like most career 1 hitters, like 2 hitters,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and the strikeout record, right?
Yeah, 5,714 career strikeouts.
That's nuts.
And so in 1973, he finished second to behind Jim Palmer with 383 strikeouts, which I believe is still the record to date, and a 21-16 record for the Angels, where Palmer went 22-19 for the Orioles.
Palmer went 22-19.
Sorry, 22-9. Correct. Sorry.
I
Okay.
was like, geez.
I was gonna say that is because the only way Palmer wins the Cy Young over Nolan Ryan is having a better win-loss record.
Yeah, and that's when win-loss record mattered. Where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks to Nagan One's boy.
So none of us predicted the divisional round because Josh Allen decided to not be.
Hey! I got 1 game right, and you guys got 2 games right. You guys went 2-2, and I went 1-3.
Right. So we're gonna take a crack at it in the championship round. Can we go 2-0?
Well, no, because I'm refusing to answer one of the questions, so I can't go 2-0.
Bro, your brother said he's rooting for the
I don't give
Seahawks
a
this year.
shit what my brother said. Dude, you're never gonna win an argument with me by starting with your brother said, just for the record. Especially a sports argument. Well, okay. Just FYI, like now you could say Hollywood, shut the fuck up. You have a sports podcast. You have to make a prediction. That would be your better way to get me to answer the question than to say your brother said this. Care what the hell he said?
Hollywood, shut the fuck up. You have a sports podcast. You have to answer the question.
See, that's a better way of getting me to try to answer the question.
Well, good thing we're starting with the AFC. So Patriots are 5.5 point favorites.
This feels a lot to me like a that's why they play the game type of game. With I know without no Bo Nix, it's pretty obvious to say the Patriots. But it feels a little bit like this could be like this is why they play the game. Um, with that said, I'm still going to take the Patriots, but it feels like it could end up being that game that we're coming on next week and being like, you know, like damn that's why they play the game.
Nug.
What's up? Oh, um, I don't know, dude. I feel like, dude. I think they might be ready. They're looking. I don't know. I know they've got Stidham, but like Let's see. Let's see,
Jarrett
dude. I feel
Stidham,
like
well
I feel
thought
like
of by his teammates. Not
this
only
is
I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
happened with that
I don't
audio.
know, dude. I think yeah. But I don't know, man. Maybe this is like another freaking Nick Foles year where some backup that nobody's ready for just freaking gets it done.
Dude, I'm gonna share this clip.
Wait. So are you taking the Patriots or the Broncos? I'm confused
Give me the
because you might have
Broncos,
cut out
dude.
when you said
Give
the
me the
team because
Broncos.
your thing was like choppy at 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going Broncos. I
Yeah.
think I think they can do it.
Well,
Nug is going Broncos. Okay. All right. So Sean Payton and the Broncos believe in Stiddy, dude.
they have to. They have no
Jarrett
choice.
Stidham, well thought of by his teammates. Not only will they rally, I think they'll have confidence that he's going to be able to go out and play. I think Sean and the offensive guys will want to knock back the Patriots from a confidence standpoint. Drive down, score, 8-play drive, and Stidham is 5 of 6 for 74 yards and a 23-yard touchdown. So I think it'll be important. The Broncos have some success offensively early. Everybody can kind of take a deep breath and say, this is going to be like this all day. We're going to be just fine.
They believe in Stiddy.
Dude,
That's,
he's a good quarterback.
Honda hybrids are legend.
With that said, I'm still going with the Patriots. The Broncos might believe in Stiddy, but I do not. I I just think the Patriots and the Seahawks are destined to meet again in the Super Bowl. So that tells you exactly who I'm choosing for the NFC Championship.
I mean, if you did take your team, I would kick you off of my podcast right now. I don't care if you're the host. I'd be like, you're gone. Get out.
I would tell you if I was nervous though. Like I would tell you if like this is definitely a homer pick. I don't believe in my brain that the Seahawks are going to win, but my heart won't let me pick another team. Like this is brain, heart, coherence. I genuinely believe the Seahawks are making it to the Super Bowl. And it's not even just a homer pick. I think that they're the better team. So this isn't like, oh, I have to go for my team. You should want the Seahawks to win, Hollywood, because don't you want the Niners to lose to the best team in football?
Oh.
I want us to beat the best team in football, and then or be the best team in football.
Isn't it more trash that the Niners lost in the divisional round if the team that beat them loses to the 5 seed?
Losing to the divisional round, no matter what, is trash. That's the thing. It doesn't matter when you lose; you lost. You know,
Oh,
I like we could have lost in the wild card round. That would have been, that would have been bad too. It doesn't matter when you lose; it's you lost.
this is true. This is true. So with that said, you're picking the
No, go.
you're
Oh,
you're not picking the beard on your face, that's for sure. You
That
you
is
did
true.
not choose that. Nug, who you feeling?
yeah. The Seahawks should win. Should win. Um, I expect them to win, but never know. Never know. Rams are like, I feel like if it was someone, almost any of the other teams in the playoffs, I would probably like feel more confident for the Seahawks because the Rams are one that like they've been there. Like they this is not like a this type of game is not a stranger to them and they're going to be ready.
Hmm.
So I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be a good game. I do not expect it to look anything like last week's Seahawks game. Um,
Yeah.
but it's
I
going to be
hope we don't
sweaty.
have another game like that the rest of the way because that wasn't even fun to watch. But
It should have been ecstatic for you to watch.
no, it
Like,
was awesome. And then it was just like, damn, this is getting ugly. It just got uglier
Yeah.
and uglier.
It's great when it's like an early round game, like an earlier round playoff game, because you're like, all right, dude, like this is good. Like we're firing on all cylinders. Our starters are gonna rest a little in this one. Like this is great. But
Yeah.
it's also not the most fun games to watch.
Like when the Seahawks beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, like that was fun for like the first quarter. Like right off the bat, we recover that fumble, we get a defensive touchdown, and it was just like off to
hey,
the
hey,
races.
hey, it was a safety, bro. Know what happened in the games that your team wins, all right?
Thank
It
you.
was a safety.
Thank you. And that was exciting right off the bat. And then it just got out of hand very quickly. And it was so unexciting that I don't even accurately recall the things that happened in the game
Yeah.
because it was just such an ugly blowout. So,
I mean, that is one way to look at it. If that's the way you choose to look at it, that's your prerogative. And as a watchable product, I get that that's not an entertaining product. And compared to every other, all the games in the first week, it was not a fun game to watch. Um, but like, I would choose my team collaborating a team and it being a not fun game to like. Because to me, like, yeah, it wasn't fun for me to watch, but as a Seahawks fan, I would have loved that game. Like, because I would have been like, yeah, like Niner fans were sitting there talking crap. Like, you saw the stuff in the thing where there's that one Seattle player that always has that sign that like the players take and always rip. And I know it's a thing that always goes on. Purdy had been undefeated in that stadium previously to that game, so you shut up that you shut blah blah blah. Like I would have loved if we curb stomped you guys, because I would have been like, yeah, it wasn't even a game. Like it wasn't competitive. You weren't on our level. We're showing you we were the better team, and like that's what the Seahawks did. The Seahawks did what they should have done 3 weeks ago, and to the Niners. You know what I mean? Like that's that. Like now, the thing that sucked is your offense still. Darnold still has been inconsistent. That's the biggest issue for you guys. So the bet is essentially which Darnold do you think is going to show up? You're going to think it's the Darnold that showed up the first week, the first time you guys played, where it was 4 INTs, or the Darnold that showed up when we were in NOLA that yes, he had 2 turnovers. It looked like he was going to have another go pumpkin mode, as like some people like to call it. but then he turned it on and had 2 touchdowns and had a decent game, you know? So it really gets down to that, and it's what Rams defense showed up, because the Rams defense in the beginning of the season kept him out of the end zone, and that's why, even though I know it was a close game, even though Darnold had 4 turnovers, it was still very close. And then the second game, they couldn't keep Darnold out of the end zone in the second half of the game. You know, you could almost kind of see a flip in their defense, so to speak, the Rams defense. So, I don't trust the Rams defense anymore, which makes it hard to pick them. And I don't trust Darnold, which makes it hard to pick the Seahawks. With all that said, I would probably lean Seahawks in this game because of the Seahawks defense potentially being an all-time defense.
It's probably the best unit on the field in the game.
No, I would say the Rams offense is the best unit on the field. They have 3 people that are generally going to be in the Hall of Fame once they retire, whereas you cannot say that about, I don't know. It's not like the Legion of Boom, where I knew Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, what the fuck's his name? Seymour, not Seymour, Richard Sherman. Sorry, Jesus, my brain is not fully on yet today. So I mean, I know Witherspoon just because he's been brought up on some sport, some of the sports shows I watch. So, but outside of that, I don't know anybody else on their defense by name. So to me, the best unit would be the Rams offense. And Kyron Williams is going to be, I think, is going to be a top 5 back. Probably, if he's not a top 5 back now, probably within a year or two will be a top 5 back.
The thing is like, when the Rams have lost games this year, it's been when Stafford has, honestly, like, thrown a lot of interceptions when he's turned the ball over. The Seahawks are a very, very good defense. They're the best defense in the league.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying who's the better unit.
So like that's where I see is like, I mean, the Rams freaking barely beat the damn Panthers. And the Panthers defense is okay. They're maybe on the better side of okay, but they're not anything super special. And the Seahawks defense is legit. And so, like, I think that's where it's going to come down to. Like, as long as the Seahawks defense can, like, do enough to, make some plays, I don't think even Darnold needs to play that well.
Well, remember, for this, how great this defense is, and I'm not arguing against how good the defense is, they did give up 37 points to the Rams on that Thursday night football game. Just remember, so that is something to keep in mind. Like, you're absolutely right. They nearly lost to the Carolina, and they did lose to Carolina during the season, which is why they're not the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I do see what you're saying, and you're right. They are a good, almost historically great defense, and I would agree that they're probably the best defense in the league. But that makes it funny to say, yeah, they're the best defense in the league, but I would still take the Rams offense over them. But Rams offense has three virtual locks for the Hall of Fame right now. Stafford is probably a debate, but Adams probably gets in, and Puka is playing like he's going to get in, already. So now maybe Puka doesn't play long enough because he's claimed he's going to retire quick, and maybe he doesn't get in because of that. But
I was like, dude, I don't think Stafford's debatable at all. I think he's first ballot.
Well, here's the thing, because like people say Phillip Rivers isn't one, right? And if Phillip Rivers isn't one, is Stafford one? And that's where I think the debate
Rivers
comes.
Is also first ballot, dude.
Well, I agree with you. I think Phillip Rivers should get in. I'm not. I think Eli should get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Eli's first ballot too.
Eli didn't get in on his first ballot. Eli is already not in, and he's already been on the ballot. Yeah.
Just nuts, dude. He's
Yeah, but to
freaking two
everybody,
Super
everybody's thing
Bowls.
is, he's a 500 quarterback. But like, I think again, if in this sport they seem to value NFL versus like Major League Baseball, where there's a pitcher who might get in just based off of his postseason resume. They're not looking at that for Eli. They're like, no, the postseason resume isn't all that matters, Because the same thing, you can make an argument based off of postseason, Edelman should get in, but it doesn't look like he's going to get in.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like both those guys, like, I don't know, you can really argue against it. Quarterbacks of the last, 25 years,
I agree.
really of all time, both of them.
These guys are almost near identical in stats.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
If Philip Rivers didn't get in, I don't see how Matthew Stafford gets in because his stats are virtually identical.
Well, remember that's why some people are saying like this could be his thing, where if he gets to the Super Bowl and wins, it looks like he's going to win the MVP. So he wins the MVP, gets another Super Bowl, that'd give him 2 titles and an MVP. That is what they're saying could lock it for him if he gets another championship.
He has half as many Pro Bowls.
That is less than half as many Pro Bowls. Now I don't know if this is. I think he made all. No, he didn't. All Pro quarterback. No, All Pro quarterback was him. So I don't know if that counts his All Pro this year. So that would be 2 All Pros.
Yes, Stafford had a lot of competition in the NFC for pretty much his whole career.
So did Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers was against Brady and Manning for his entire career.
Yeah, but 3 quarterbacks. It was like, was it 3 or 4 quarterbacks would get selected for the Pro Bowl?
It's 3, but the thing is all those alternatives always happen. So that's another thing. Like it could be. Remember, he could have not made it, and then Brady can't play, so then they take somebody else.
Yeah.
Manning can't play, or Manning just declines to play. Because remember, you could just be like, "Oh, I'm hurt. I don't want to play." Like Kevin Wildes always likes to bring up Mac Jones's Pro Bowl, and it was like he was like the 10th alternate, because like people, and then the same thing. Once you get even asked as an alternate, they count it as a Pro Bowl. So a lot of those could be alternate Pro Bowl selections,
Yeah, because Brady was in the Super Bowl every damn year.
Yeah, Brady was in the Super Bowl, or Manning was in the Super Bowl, or Big Ben, Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. He made what, 1 AFC championship, Philip Rivers?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. One.
1. Oh yeah, it was that yeah, that one. I think this was a game where yeah, Philip Rivers played with a torn ACL and meniscus.
Yeah.
And I think this was the game that remember, like LT like played like one series and like then is just standing on the sideline in a jacket. You don't see him the rest of the game, and like I don't remember what they said happened to him. But I think that's this game. This was probably the year that they did that they had the. No, that I think they went 8-8 that year with Philip Rivers. I was gonna say that was probably the year they had the first ranked offense and the first ranked defense.
Okay, here's what I want Nug or you to do. Here's a list of Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Who do you think is the most comparable to Matthew Stafford and Philip Rivers? And we'll compare them head to head. Like Troy Aikman, you
Okay,
got
I think for Rivers, like Marino probably.
Marino's stats probably trump Philip Rivers' stats.
I don't know. I
Oh,
would
actually,
imagine
I
they're
mean,
probably
maybe
closer
not
than you
anymore
think.
because I don't think Marino's in the top five for yards anymore.
Yeah, I would imagine they're closer than you think. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like very prolific quarterback on largely successful teams, but never won at all. Yeah, it's all like
It's
Marino's
all
got
Rivers.
all the accolades.
Yeah.
Um, and Rivers only played a few more games than him.
Less interceptions, more pass yards a game, more passing
Significantly
yards.
less interceptions. Like
Yeah.
that 40 is a huge amount of interception difference.
Yeah, ran the ball a lot
Dude,
more.
Dan Marino didn't ever run the ball. Damn.
87 rushing yards in his career.
87
That's
rushing yards, and what is that,
disgusting.
nine? What is that, nine tutties?
Yeah,
And Rivers only has one less Pro Bowl.
But no All Pros, no MVP, no
yeah. I
Offensive
think
Player of the Year, and I don't know
yeah,
what
I think the
I don't know what that last
difference.
one means.
I
UPI offensive. What
I
is
don't know.
UPI?
I think the main difference between the two is that like I don't think that Philip Rivers was ever like the best quarterback in football or one of the two or three best quarterbacks in football. But I felt like numbers wise, I thought they'd be pretty close.
I mean, those aren't bad. And remember, Marino basically lost a year when he tore his Achilles, so like the yards could be closer. Um, and and the TDs would technically be more. He wouldn't catch him, obviously. He would have more interceptions. So I think this is actually a pretty decent comp. Um, because remember, Marino lost a whole year during his career too. Um, I think this is a pretty decent comp, actually. I think this does it or doesn't help its case.
He just doesn't have the awards,
Yeah.
really.
But then again, like I said, like I mean, that's the thing. He played in an era with two of the top five quarterbacks of all time. He led directly up against two of the top five quarterbacks of all time.
I mean, he's played against probably half the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's been around. I mean, no, because depends on what your top 10 is, but
I
and I
mean,
mean,
just
Marino.
between Brady, Peyton, Rogers, I don't know, Favre,
Yeah, he probably played Favre.
who else?
I mean, Big Ben. I don't know where you would put Big Ben. I'm just listing
He's
quarterbacks that
close. He's
I know
close.
who he
Oh,
went against.
Mahomes.
Did he pull? When was Philip Rivers' last year? He's been
2025,
retired for
dude.
5 years. Well, no, actual last
It
year.
was the 2000s. It was the COVID season, COVID year.
Oh yeah, he played the COVID year. So 2019, he could have. Because I don't think they played the Chiefs in the COVID year. So did they
But he
play the
might,
Chiefs?
and he might not have necessarily played him, but he played in the league at the same time
Oh yeah,
as
yeah. So
half the
then,
top 10.
yeah, yeah. Thinking of it that way, yeah, that's a better way to think about it. Because yeah, he would still be around to prevent him from getting an award, get awards and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Rivers obviously have the numbers, but the numbers, like I said, are closer. And then the AP difference is huge. Because that's basically they're saying what's that 8 times they thought Marino was essentially the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
versus
that's part of it too. Yeah, is Rivers is never the best quarterback in the league, but very different era.
yeah,
What about your boy versus your boy, dude?
Oh, dude, it's not even a comp.
That's crazy.
The only comp is fucking crushing playoff losses year after year.
Man, that's the truest thing you've ever. That's the truest thing you've said so far on this podcast. Like ever. Like you take everything you've said on the podcast. That's the truest thing you've said so far.
Nug's on a roll, dude.
Right.
Gosh, all right, bring that list back up so I can think about our boy Matt Stafford.
Problem is some of these QBs, I just don't know what they like what they did, you know.
Dude, Stafford's got a little Brett Favre in him, dude.
But see, that's not a good comp because Brett Favre was, what won three in a row or what MVPs. That's not. I don't
Fair.
know.
He's definitely like Favre's
Do
ceiling was
do
obviously way higher.
do Jim Kelly. That might be a good comp for Stafford because Kelly doesn't have any. Got to four Super Bowls, but I'm interested to see their stats. The problem is that the league now, the stats are so. It's so much more of a passing league, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
like that, and like it just doesn't. Like I don't know because I was gonna say Steve Young because that's one Super Bowl to one Super Bowl, but like I know Stafford's numbers are gonna just torch
Yeah.
Young's numbers. You know what I
I'd be
mean?
interested to see Fran Tarkenton.
You guys don't know who that is. Apparently, remember last week I said that name and you guys are like, who?
No, Tucker said who.
Okay.
It was just an odd name to hear, dude. Tarkenton's awesome, dude. He was the what was the freaking offense called? That they ran with the Falcons. It was like the run and shoot or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean he destroys Jim Kelly numbers wise.
Yeah, I mean, look at the passing yards. But he
Yeah.
also played like 70 more games than Jim Kelly did.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly did not play that many games to be a Hall of Famer.
No, I think he only played like 10 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was at 160 games. Be about 10 years.
And Stafford
Maybe a
only
few more.
has like 21 more interceptions in like 80 more games played. Jim Kelly was a pick machine, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's not a. See, it's funny, like numbers wise, he has them, but Kelly has more Pro Bowls and more All Pros than Stafford does. That again, that goes with where does this cut off for Stafford? Is just a lot, because I think he got All Pro this year, so he has technically, I think he has two now.
Dude, pull up Fran the Man Tarkenton.
Brett Favre
Or Brett.
and
Okay, so hold
and
on real quick.
Stafford is
So
the
that's
uh-huh.
so the one that he has listed is including the one from 2025. So
Okay. So it is just one.
yeah, because I just searched how many All Pros does Stafford have had, and it says one. No,
I would
no,
not have
okay.
guessed that
Oh,
Stafford
so he
has
was
more yards
he
per
was
game.
second All Pro in second team All Pro in 2021. So I think it's two. So I just think it doesn't have
Okay.
so I think it is two. Sorry, Papa Hat. What were you saying?
I'm surprised Stafford has more yards per game than Favre.
Jesus, Favre has 6,000 more yards than he does. Sorry,
He's also
yes?
played in like 60 more games.
Yeah, dude, because he was the Iron Man and he never missed a damn game.
Absolute stud.
He still has the like all time consecutive starts record in the NFL.
No, I thought Eli passed him
No,
before he
dude,
lost it.
I don't think anyone passed Favre. He played so many freaking games in a row.
You're probably right. I think I don't think he. I think Eli lost it before. Yeah, 297. Philip Rivers was at 243. Eli was at 210. So I guess Philip Rivers, if he decides to play more, he can run him down. But he was hard to watch play
Yeah.
That Colts Niner game that me and Papa Hat watched it in Houston, and it was those throws. Like I know he carved up the Niners defense, but those throws were not as crisp as some people thought. Like it looked like it took forever for that ball to come out. Some of those throws. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly not trying to talk crap. It's just,
No, dude, he's freaking 44.
yeah.
Got off the couch.
One more just for funsies.
Oh,
Who's your
dude,
goat, dude? Who's your
look at
goat?
that. Look at that passer rating, dude. Highest of all time, baby. Must have been just so nice to have a good defense.
I knew that comment was coming. I knew. And so nice to have the refs be your boy in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Don't start that shit. Don't start that shit. We're not gonna be that type of a podcast. I'm putting a kibosh on that right now. All right.
I was just reading Ben's mind. I don't know why you're jumping all over me, dude.
I'm not jumping on
No, dude,
anybody.
I'm
I am
not. I'm
saying
not.
we are not going to be one of those podcasts that bitch about
No,
officials. All right. If
no,
there's
dude.
an
That's
egregious call, we could do that. But every call
Brady's.
the Patriots got were legit calls. You can
Brady's
disagree.
gotten plenty of luck outside the officials. They just help. But
Yeah.
that's not the point.
That's
He's had a lucky rabbit's foot up his ass for 20 years.
That's what happens when you're the GOAT. You can say the same thing about Michael Jordan. You can say the same thing about a lot of players. You know?
Dude,
Uh
89,000 passing yards is just so ridiculous. It is so insane. His
yeah,
shoulder
dude.
has 90,000 yards on it, bro.
More than that.
Yeah.
That's just in the
Professional.
game. That's
Get
just that's just
professional yards.
that's just balls that have been caught.
That is valid. Valid.
That is
That's an
valid.
interesting way to think about it. It's like that's just, like it's always funny about like the pitch count in baseball and stuff. It's like there was one time a guy came, I was like, why does he have to come out after this many throws? And then like I did all the math of like the pitches that don't get counted. It's like the warm up pitches in the before they start throwing, before they come into the game, and then they do like 10 warm up pitches before every inning. I was like, oh yeah, those all add up.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers' passer rating is impressive. I will give you that, Nug.
The all time. I think there's someone it's like Lamar or something like
Yeah,
that.
Lamar actually passed him. I think before this season started, he just played poorly enough this year that I think he passed him back or something like that. I don't,
Yeah,
but
I'm
him
not
and Lamar,
sure.
him and Lamar are close. Yeah,
Yeah, because after Mahomes' first few years, he had a higher rating than Rodgers, but I figured that would probably come down,
yeah,
and it has. Like Rodgers has that number right now
yeah.
at being freaking 41.
Yeah. So they're saying Lamar's is also 102.2, which was I think the same number that thing had. So that would say that
Okay,
they're currently tied,
tied.
right? Because that the thing we just saw said 102.2 also, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Because this is saying that he surpassed Rogers in September of 25. Yeah, they both have 120.
That's crazy. I wonder if Lamar is the QB that forces NFL to take rushing into consideration.
For QBs, you mean, or what do you mean?
Yeah, for QBs. Like Lamar's passer rating is insanely good, but his passing yards per game are under 200. Passing TDs is not, well, he hasn't played that long, so that's not a fair comp. But still, passing yards per game, like, I wonder what the lowest passing yards per game for a Hall of Fame quarterback currently is.
There's probably some low ones.
If your thing is, will the writers take it into account when Lamar hangs it up and all that stuff? If that's your question, the answer is yes. They're already referring to him as future Hall of Famer Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So now I think that term gets thrown around way too easily sometimes. Personally, I don't like the term future. I don't like to say future Hall of Famer because you don't know what the future could hold. Because like if for example it comes out that random player took an illegal substance, we've seen baseball basically being like, oh, that guy's an a-hole, we don't want to let him in. Now, I'm not saying the league thinks that about anybody in particular, but like, what if that's what happens,
If you OJ Simpson, you might
Well,
not get in.
OJ was already in,
He
technically.
was already in, but
But I
if
mean,
you
when you think
do
about
Ray
players that are
Rice,
in, like, I just saw this ridiculous Ty Cobb story that he basically I don't want to say basically. He kidnapped a homeless little kid, a black kid, and made the kid live with, like, took the kid around, and the kid was like his, for lack of a better term, his, I'll say indentured servant because I don't want to say the other word, and made the kid like sleep under his bed, and like the kid had a uniform, and like that's how the story got out. I literally just saw this on Instagram. I was like, this is nuts.
dude, that's insane.
And he's in the Hall of Fame. So no,
Yeah, dude, they don't use a character clause with the guys that played back then.
yeah.
It only matters for Barry Bonds and Pete
And
Rose.
and Clemens,
Yeah.
and I guess
Does
Rafael
Clem
Palmeiro.
I was gonna say, do people use though, like, is that what they're like lumping in with cheating, is like that calls in their character?
I mean, I guess that's the only thing they could say. But there's people who we know have tested positive, whereas Bonds and Clemens have never tested positive that are in. You know,
Yeah.
like David Ortiz has a positive thing on his record.
Dude, I think I was talking to someone about this the other day and I looked it up and I don't think he does. He's just
So
named in the report.
no, no, no. So remember, yes, he's named in the Mitchell report, but also there is that remember when there's a group of tests that they did on a bunch of players, and David Ortiz is apparently in that group, and he tested
Okay.
positive. Now, I think they were trying to say Bonds was in that group, but there's been no proof to substantiate Bonds was. But I think they were able to prove that David Ortiz was in that test. It's just not considered a positive test because it was before everything had become official, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong on that.
Who the hell is Ace Parker?
He's a Hall of Famer, dude. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and his passing yards per game was 69.1.
He also played 60 games, and this was probably in the rushing league, as he has return kicks for touchdowns listed on a stat. He has receiving touchdown
Dude.
3.
Dude,
He has receiving yards. I
Can
don't
you
know if this.
find can
Go
you
ahead.
find another quarterback with a return touchdown? You might have just stumbled upon like one of the greatest trivia questions of all time.
Who is the only quarterback with a return touchdown? Let's see. Let's see.
I mean, he played 68. This guy played 68 games, had less than 50% completion percentage, less than 5,000 total yards,
It's like
6.5 passes. Yeah. He also threw he damn near threw more interceptions than Lamar too. That's pretty funny.
Damn.
So I just
His
asked Gemini, and it isn't even listing any quarterbacks that have returned kicks for touchdowns. So like even AI overlooked Ace Parker.
when did this guy play? Dude, he was a two-time All-Pro.
Let's see, when did Ace Parker play?
He
He's
played the 19. Wait, this is
1937 to 1946.
fuck yeah, dude. He's probably a veteran. Maybe that's why he
he
only
might have
played.
also. There's an Ace Parker. So I put Ace Parker stats. The AI overview on Google says Ace Parker, a football player and coach. But the first two things listed are 1937 with the Royals and 1938 with the Royals, and these are football. These are baseball numbers. These are not football numbers. I see RBIs, I see hits, I see bases on balls, I see home runs. So I'm not saying this guy also played professional baseball, but he might have also played professional
I
baseball.
think this guy also played professional baseball, dude. I wonder if he's in the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay, Clarence Ace Parker. That's probably why I probably only searched Ace Parker stats, and that's the issue. Three all-time NFL, six passing titles. That might be worse because Lamar don't got six passing titles.
Dude, how do you
He
win
played 7
six
seasons
passing titles,
and six
averaging
passing
70
titles.
yards a game?
He's a running back, quarterback, and then it says quarterback slash quarterback. So maybe they meant another thing.
Dude, he played quarterback, tailback, and safety. Bro didn't come off the field, dude. He was doing this way before Travis Hunter.
He's like the coach's kid.
He
Punt
also
return
played
yard. He
Major League
returned punt.
Baseball
He
in
returned
19.
punts. He returned kicks. This guy's a stud, man. Sorry, get Lamar off the screen. This is disrespectful to Ace Parker to put Lamar Jackson next to him.
Dude, and this guy was probably doing it with a freaking leather helmet too.
He was absolutely doing it with a leather helmet. He's 19 class of 1972.
He also led the league in interceptions in 1940. This guy was all over the place.
So his individual yards, passing yards per season, 510. That was in 4 games. Well, yeah, 4 games. 865. That was in 11 games. These next ones are all in 11 games. 977, 817, 639. In 8 games, he threw for 123 yards, and then in 12 games, it says New York Yankees AAFC, so I don't know what that means, but he threw for 763 yards for a total of 4,698. He also has 8 career catches for 220 yards and 3 tutties. He was 1 of 5 on field goals, apparently. 25 for 30 on extra points. Punt returns, 24 total punt returns for 238 yards, 1 TD. Kickoffs, 5 for 98. No touchdowns listed there, which is weird because I thought this said, oh, that's
Punt
just
return
receiving.
touchdown.
Yeah. Um, and then interception, 7 for 151 with two tutties. Rushing, he has 150 attempts for 5,767 yards. This guy's a G, bro. Wait, that
This
doesn't make
must
sense
this
because that's
must
rushing.
only
Oh, that's putting. Sorry, that's punting yards. Correction.
oh
He
he
also
punted
punted.
too.
He also punted.
He
I saw
also
rushing,
punted.
but it was punting. Sorry.
Was this back when they had like fucking 12 guys on the team?
I guess. I mean, 1937. I don't know how many teams were. Oh, these were just more Ace Parker stuff. Yeah, he joined Brooklyn.
He also played shortstop for 2 years, batted 179 and hit 2 home runs. 25 ribbies.
Oh,
All right.
also missed 4 years for WW2.
Yeah, dude.
There
I
it
was
is.
about to say there's no way he didn't go to war.
There it is. All right, Hollywood, take us home because I got to we got to hop on a call in 10 minutes.
About what?
Your hottest take for football this weekend.
I don't know if I have a hot take for this weekend, to be honest with you. Um,
JSN scores 3 tutties on Sunday. There's my hot take. That's my bold prediction for Sunday football. JSN, 3 tutties.
maybe. Depending on what Sam Darnold shows up. If the Sam Darnold that wants to be.
Hey, that's just my hot take, dude. It's your
No,
turn to have a hot take. You can't comment on my hot take. That's just what I'm ending on.
actually
That's my hot take.
that's literally what the point of a hot take is to get somebody to comment on it. So yes, I'm allowed to comment on your hot take. That's literally why it's called a hot take. Otherwise, it's just a take. And then even still, I get to comment on it. Otherwise,
Nug's
keep it to
taking the
yourself.
Broncos, right? What's your hot
Yeah.
Stiddy take, Nug? You think
Dude, I
Stiddy's
think
gonna go off?
I don't think he's gonna need to be like phenomenal for them to win. I think the between games in Denver, so it's at altitude, which is always tough on visiting teams. They've always had a great home field advantage. They I think their defense is probably another one of the better ones in football. Um, and I don't know. I think they're all going to rally. I think everyone kind of probably has that feeling of like we all need to step up. Um, and I think Peyton will have them prepared, and I think they can do it. And wasn't the spread like 5.5? That's like a freaking cursed spread.
Yeah, it's starting to go back towards. It's going back towards uh, uh, Denver side. That's going down. So it seems like more people are betting on Denver.
Yeah, I think I mean, obviously I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win, but I think it's going to be a much closer game than people think. I think the Broncos will be all right. I think they'll still look good.
They'll be I.
Yeah,
They'll be all right.
All right, we got the 312 stocking 10 after sports logo up just for you, Oliver.
yeah.
Just for you.
Just for me. That was why we did it.
All right, gents. Catch y'all on the flipper.
Yep.
Love you, miss you.
Love you, miss
Love
you.
you.